Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So today for you, we're rocking SetCon here versus my wife's Rosemon deck. So I thought Rosemon would be kind of interesting because it can trash the security without actually having to check it potentially. And with all the tamers that typically SetCon likes to run, I thought it'd be a pretty good matchup for you guys. We had a ton of technical difficulties during this. We actually lost, I think, 2 recordings, and then one of the recordings we had a misplay, so we lost a lot of footage, unfortunately. So between the corruptions and the one misplay that I was able to catch immediately, wasn't leaving me too much to choose from, but I still ended up getting one great game. Hopefully there's no misplays for you guys. If there is, definitely leave it in the comments. Always happy to. I think SetCon is still a great fun deck for me to play all the time. I know it can be very frustrating. I think I just like the control the board element of it, and I like the recovery element. I still think that the security options getting triggered has always been a little bit imbalanced, the way it works there. So if you have a deck that can recover so much like this, it always feels a little awkward, but a little overpowered, I would say. But yeah, so SetCon, and then Rosemon is very much a similar engine to that of Bloom, which we saw last week. So some similarities there, but I would say their end goal is pretty different. So I hope you guys enjoy this game. Also, don't forget to check out our Etsy page, link in the description below. There you can find all of our memory markers that we featured on the channel in the past. If there's a deck you're playing right now, I'm sure we can find a perfect memory marker that'll go absolutely perfectly with the deck you're playing. Also, check out all of our other Digimon merch. We got some cool stuff on there. Here recently, we added these cool acrylics. You can use them as fridge magnets. You can use them as keychains. You know, whatever you want to do, even as memory markers themselves if you wanted to. So definitely go check out our Etsy page. All right, here we are setting up. We are playing at home. She's using the Tanamon, I'm using the Tokomon. Right off the bat, we see the Patamon coming down on top of the Tokomon, and then hard playing the Kari to pass turn here. A good initial setup for SetCon. We see our purple tamer early on. Kicking over here, we see Palmon coming down. This is that new Palmon that we just got. And then dropping the Searcher Palmon. So it's a reveal 4, add 1 Veggie and 1 Fairy. Unfortunately, hits the tamer off of it, but cannot grab it. Also, Argomon in Raising. I do think we'll change Argomon out when we do the deck profile. Just not feeling it anymore. With how much the deck suspends, I think that draw power would be way more useful. And then passes turn with the main effect Sunflowermon here. So here we're promoted up to Patamon. Get a free check at our security here. If there was anything we could Evo out of there, we could. Which is exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to go into our Rapidmon and suspend the Sunflowermon and then minus 5k on it to pass turn. We would prefer the Rapidmon to definitely have been in security for a free Evo, but not quite so lucky. Here, Palmon getting promoted out of Raising gives the Rapid that lose 2 memory if it gets suspended here. Looks like we're going into the Sunflower. I believe it's the same one we had before. I can't make the difference off of the art alone. I just don't have them quite memorized. I do believe that is the main though. And then going to hard play a Palmon to pass turn. The Searcher one again. Grab 1 Fairy, 1 Veggie, and again hitting another Yoshino to the bottom of the deck. Must feel super bad, honestly. Kicking it back over to us here, we see another Patamon coming down in Raising area. Going to Evo into the new Magna Angemon Ace. And then we're going to recover 1 and then DP minus 6k on it. 1 for every security we have. And then we're going to go into a Seraphi here, recover another one, and then kill the Palmon as well. As the attitude begins to brew on Rosemon's side. Also kicking in the Patamon because we recovered. So gaining 1 memory, and then the draw off the Tokomon as well. Forgot it on the Magna Angemon, but remembered it there. Here we see the Grandel Soul coming down for 8, but then gains 3 memory back because that Ace went to trash. or just removed from the field in general. Here we're seeing the Patamon getting promoted up at raising, checking that security again, just getting a nice peek at it every single round for SetCon. Feels super strong. So that's a huge like boon to run it. But besides getting the free peek, I wasn't having a whole lot of luck with it. Compared to something like I could have ran like a Salamon for like recovery or something like that. And then swinging in just for a security check. It's not doing us any good at this point. We've already used the Rapidmon, which I can't remember if we're playing how many. I think we're playing 2 Rapidmons, but it could be 3. I'm pretty sure it's 2 though. And then just dropping the Magna Angemon for a full 7 here. Massive security there. We're at 7. Oh, 8, sorry. We're at 8 security. Yeah. Here, just fixing dirt in the sleeve. So what happens when you use the same sleeves for too long? You know, you play a deck a whole lot when you don't even, like, re-sleeve it. It's just the same sleeves. It's kind of what's going on with these pink ones at this point. All right, so promotes up the Palmon, goes ahead and marks the Magna Angemon. Here we're seeing the Sunflower come down. Now this is the when Digivolving one, so can suspend herself here to play a 3K body. Looks like she is going to go for it here. Playing out the Togemon. So Togemon's going to allow then a Tamer to get dropped for a reduced play cost of 3, but does not look like there is a Togemon. We do see a Cherrymon though. Going to Digizorption, so Evo for 1. And Anger. I can't tell if that was Anger or Excitement. I think it was Anger. So here we're going to see Rosemon for 3 coming down, which will suspend the Magna Angemon, which will then gain the 2 memory back because that Palmon hit it earlier. Draw for the Evo. Looks like we do see the burst mode in hand, but no Yoshino. I'm going to swing in here, double checking the card. When one of my Digimon gets suspended, it can also suspend a Tamer. So that's why the Kari was suspended. Now it will unsuspend here, but just good to know. And then playing the training card to pass turn, leaving the board very open for removal, that is. Here we're going to see the Lone Key coming down. Just going to go ahead and DP minus that Rosemon to clear it off the field. Unfortunately, though, giving a ton of memory. Also, don't mind the offset memory marker or memory scales there. She's using a super extra wide mat from Zen Dragon Designs. Super cool. All of his stuff is amazing. Steven, if you're watching, which probably not, but if you are, love your stuff, dude. So we're seeing Lalamon coming down searching. Unfortunately, no Tamer this time around. Also, looks like was that a Grandel Soul that went to the bottom, I believe. Looks like debating the Blossomon here. Can suspend the Lalamon to go into... I'm not sure if she just like completely spaced on that. Yeah, there goes the hand on the head. It's like yeah, big bozo play there. Now you would think that she'd want to suspend the Lalamon instead to keep the Blossomon unsuspended to go into the Rosemon. Because I don't think the Rosemon unsuspends when you suspend a Tamer. Or does it? I could be mistaken. Looks like it does. So when Digivolving, suspend either a Digimon or a Tamer, and then unsuspend this Digimon. Has the agility training here. Did technically miss timing because she did draw first, and that is important if they're going to activate effects or not. On especially, you know, reducing cost and how much memory you're paying, you got to really do that stuff before the draw. It hits into the Schwartz here and get a pop a level 5 or less for every Tamer we have or hybrid. So we're going to pop that Lalamon. And then just going to hard play out another Lalamon here. Just digging for the Yoshino here, but just cannot see it. And then goes ahead and pick up the Lilamon there. So if she ever does see the Tamer, she can finally play it for free. Definitely a bit of a struggle here for Rosemon, but at the same time, Setcon, we're just like full reaction mode right now. Just reacting everything. Here we're going to Flame Hell Scythe. Just control the board, control the board, control the board. Recover here off that Magna Angemon. Kill the Lala. It's not like an overly powerful play here, but getting, I think we wanted the recovery. Recovery is always nice, but also getting us a level 5 body back on field to Evo on top of for future plays. I believe I run 6 Megas in this, 4 of the new Seraphi, and then 1 Shadow Seraphi. Or no, 2 Shadow Seraphi, sorry. But I do like to reserve them for only Evoing on top of Seraphi, just to help make that Evo cost a little bit more affordable. So we're seeing the Sunflower come back up. That's the one Digivolving one again. Looks like I see the Yoshino, very last card in hand there. Looks like big debate on what to do, on whether or not to play the Togemon, which I think that was the play, right? Because Togemon would make the Yoshino a 1 cost. And then you can burst mode. So yeah, suspend the Togemon, play the Yoshino for 1. Here we're seeing the burst mode, so bounce Yoshino to hand, burst mode goes on top, draw a card, so 0 Evo, can suspend something, goes for the Kari here, so Kari won't be able to use their effect here, and also gets the Magna Angemon, swings in, trashes 1, and then checks 1 after that. So now there's at least two targets on field, so now the burst mode can start trashing free security. So while yeah, it did take a while to get the Yoshino in like circulation here, there wasn't a whole lot for burst mode to like capitalize on, so it kind of just actually worked out. Here we're going to see the Lilamon coming down here, going to pop, there it goes, pops the training card to reduce it down to a 1 Evo cost, and then play out a Yoshino for free. And we were looking at what's the interactions here on stuff on, do you gain memory back or do you not? Because the Lalamon says that if you have a tamer, you can gain a memory. So if you're technically evoing the Lilamon and you play out the tamer off the effect, can you then pick the Lalamon next? My thinking in this moment was, at the moment of evo, the tamer wasn't on field, so Lala couldn't trigger. So that's how we rolled it. If you know of a different ruling, and you've seen where it's like officially a different rule, please let me know. Definitely super curious about that. Here for us, we just hard played the Kari to pass turn, so we couldn't get choked on memory anymore. They have a memory fixer anyway, so we couldn't choke them at this point. Our security is a pretty solid amount. So looks like they're going to Evo into Rosemon here. Now that Lalamon will kick in for sure this time. And also suspend the Yoshino to gain 1. I believe we have missed an Argomon trigger somewhere around here. Yeah, I think she should be at 1 higher memory. So yeah, going into burst mode here, going to suspend the tamer so we can't use her as well and lock it down. Trash 1, check 2 this time because she does have the Lilamon. We're going to go ahead and kill that Togemon with that minus 6k. I could have gone for the Rosemon, but we don't have a whole lot of Digimon in our deck, so I don't think that the next card is likely going to matter. Unfortunately, our only target is a Rapidmon. However, one of the nice things about Rapidmon is that it is a level 4, so we can blast Evo if we so choose. Looks like another burst mode in hand, but no way to cheat a Yoshino into play here. So just going to play the agility training to pass turn here, search for 2, and look at that. Training off of training. Like, what a classic. I don't know if this happens to y'all a lot, but I know at our locals, I would say almost 9 out of 10 people hit training off of training. And then, so choosing not to attack with that Rosemon. Very interesting. I don't know. She might have wanted to keep the 4 bodies on field. She might not have wanted to trigger Magna Angemon. That could have possibly been it. The Magna Angemon Ace didn't want to deal with the counter to recover 1 for free and DP minus. But I kind of feel like maybe have cleared the Magna Angemon on field. But we're at the perfect 3 security, so we're going to -12 on 1 and then put the other on top of security. And then she's just very upset. Losing both stacks here just feels absolutely bad. So we've cleared multiples here. Her deck is getting a little low at this point. So kicking it back over her, though, she does have 6. Has the Sunflower. This is the main, I do believe here. Debate if she wants to use it. She looks like she is. No, so this is, okay, so this is the one where she suspends itself to reduce the Evo of Fairy by 2. So it's a 1 Evo cost in the Lila. And then Lila plays out the Yoshino for free here. There's got to be getting low on Rosemons at this point, as well as burst modes. Going for the Palmon. Of course, every time Palmon hits, Yoshino just takes a dive. There we see more Rosemons, though. I believe that is the new one we just got recently. Finally giving this deck a little bit more megas to choose from. It's extremely similar to the Rosemon that we already had for the deck. It's not a whole lot of difference. So here, just adding up the reduced cost here. The Palmon, as well as the Sunflower, and the Yoshino will make it a free Evo. On Evo, we'll suspend that Rapidmon. It's a real shame the deck doesn't have Piercing. Like, I feel like if it had Piercing, it would be so much better. Here we see another burst mode coming down, so bounce that Yoshino back to hand. So yeah, swing in, trash 2 here, and then check 1. And then, like, oh, I want to swing with the Palmon, but that was literally just hard played to search out the Rosemon, so cannot get game here. So close. No, it wouldn't have mattered. I was going to say she didn't swing with that Rosemon earlier, but I don't think it would have mattered. It wouldn't have changed the security at all. Oh, no, it would have. Oh, man, that's so crazy. Well, I do know that we have the ace in hand, so we could have blast Evo there to give us 1 extra security. But yeah, swing and then trash 2, and could have been, that Rosemon could have been swing for game there if we didn't have the blast mode in hand. Not blast mode, if we didn't have the Magna Angemon ace in hand. So debating the agility training, it looks like, for the free Evo. Ah, okay. So yeah, Togemon here. Oh, she has to suspend it if she wants to or not. So does go for that after all. And then get an extra body on field, so that way it's going to be harder for her to clear both, or for me to clear both. Definitely puts us in a bind. We do have a gain 3 memory, though. It looks like we have a Holy Wave in hand, so that'll give us a little bit. Look at this. Her security is still untouched this whole game. Her deck is almost gone. She has 3 cards left, and we've yet to hit her security. This is the stuff that people hate about SetCon, is that their win con is you decking out and just not losing. Here we see Tiny Hands coming onto the camera. Alright, so we're going to pop the reinforcing, go to 6, play Chaos Degradation to go ahead and clear that Rosemon. So go ahead and put it on to the bottom. Trash the top card of security. We'll say another Rosemon. So they changed. So we do know that there is one more Rosemon in the deck, because when she did that search earlier, she revealed 2, but could only add 1. So kicking it back over to her here. So there is the Togemon here, debating what to do. Going to pop the Reinforce to make it a 1 Evo. Tap the Yoshino to make it 0. So gain 1 there, and draw. So one more draw, and her deck is gone. So, and unfortunately, I believe that last card is the Rosemon that she needs. And then here we're gonna see the swing here, and we know it's there in hand. So draw for Evo, recover 1, checks just a Patamon. Minus 1k on the Lila, not super huge. And then says she does have the Yoshino in hand on the Lila Evo, just didn't see it, so went ahead and let her play it. And then going to play a Palmon to pass turn here, kicking it back over to us. 2 bodies on field. That Lila is only at 7k here, so Magna Angemon can swing over that very easily. And then looking for how to answer, which is just a 1k. So yeah, swing over there. That dies. And then play the Magna Angemon here for 4, which will recover 1 and minus 1k onto the Palmon, killing it, leaving her no bodies on field and 1 card left in deck. And unfortunately, we actually hit 30 minutes on that recording, and my camera cut off. But basically, we killed the Palmon here at this moment, and that's it. Oops. That's pretty much game at that point. So it can just hit it. So yeah, kill the Palmon. Yeah, gain the 1 memory back for the recovery, minus the 1k. And it leaves us 1 security left. She has no cards in on field. She draws for turn here, and she can't do anything. So she puts out a ton of bodies and then passes it to me, and then I just pass it back, and she can't draw. Like, literally so close so many times to finishing this game and just could not quite get there. She cleared so much security. I feel so bad. It was a good game, but it was just, there was so much security. I forgot my Kari, I think, maybe once or twice. It was suspended for most of the game, so I never really got to do it too many times. And it was just, I started to forget about it because I just spent most of the game with it suspended. So I never got to actually get to use my Kari. But I did discover that through more testing, 4 Kari alone just did not work. It was very, very frustrating at times because we do run a decent amount of yellow, purple, or purple options in the deck, and only 4 purple cards, like Digimon, made it very, very, like, irritating at times. Thankfully there's mulligan, so you can mulligan and try to get a second shot at getting one. If you don't see a Kari in your opening hand in this build, like, you really want to mulligan and go for another shot at trying to get a Kari, just so you can guarantee that you're going to have, because you're going to have the yellow baby no matter what. Patamon doesn't matter, but you need to see a purple tamer to really, really start feeling the good impact. Magna Angemon Ace, extremely good in this deck, just absolutely absurd. The Rapidmon Patamon thing was spicy and interesting, but not once. We played 4 or 5 games, and I never had a Rapidmon in security. Even with all the recovering and everything like that I did, a Rapidmon never got in security. I got tons of peaks at security, which was, that in itself was pretty nice. But there's other cards that do that too. Like, I could play the old TK if I really wanted to grab anything out and get a peak. The Patamon getting to do it for free was pretty nice, though. But the trade-off is, what other rookie am I giving up that I could use instead? That being something like, Salamon for more recovery if I really, really need it. There's the Harrismon as well if you're going to run the Tactical Retreat. That's pretty good. For Rosemon here, Rosemon feels super good. Besides the Argomon baby, which is the only thing I'm just like, nah, I don't like the Argomon baby anymore. Because we're doing so much suspending that an extra draw, like we would have saw it multiple times here. Like no Yoshino, no Yoshino. Like if she had double the draws, because of all the suspending, because of the babies, I think this might have actually been a huge difference of a game. So. But Rosemon deck profile should be out on Friday, so make sure you go check that out.